Alright, everybody. Went and did some training. There we go, level up. And now a journeyman of illusion, huh? I feel more illusionative. It's a word, go look it up, right? Let's go talk to our favorite innkeeper, get a room real quick.
Good. What do you want? I do have a bed available for 20 gold a night. Would you like to rent it? Very good. It's up the stairs there, first door on your left. Sleep well. You too.
Now, if we've done our training properly, we'll be able to drop 5 points into 3 different attributes. Primarily endurance. That's my main concern. Get a little privacy here. There we go. Now notice there's 4 points available for intelligence, which isn't what I was going for. Not on this one. Maybe the next level. Because I don't like wasting them. That means I've raised intelligence skills at least 8 times, if not 9. And that's just wasted. So those skills are up there, and that's points I can't take advantage of. So next time around, I might want to consider that. I do try to pay attention to that. Like, you know, I raised that 6, 7, 8, 9 times and didn't use it. When I actually need to use it, those skills might not be there to raise. They might all be capped at 100, and I'm left stuck with that attribute. Maybe being able to raise it by 2 points per level. But you have to level 5 times to get it up by 10 instead of just twice. So that's not cool. And intelligence, though it's not a primary stat, it's definitely useful. It gives you a bigger mana pool. All right, well, we're finally here. Man, it's been an adventure already. That's just to get in here, just for the right to use an enchanting table, period. Make your own spells and all that cool stuff. Of course, you can't make a spell if you don't know a fundamental basic spell to work with. Right now, about all I could probably do is some simple alteration stuff, and might be able to make a better fireball spell than what I have. Might come in handy. But if you want to make a strong spell, you have to have the skill to cast it. Not just the magical pool, but also the skill to cast it. I think that's really cool.
How are you?
Hello, associate. It seems you've obtained the final recommendation you required. I have received recommendations from all the local guild halls in Cyrodiil. You've done well for yourself. You may now enter the university. As a full-fledged member of the Mages Guild, I now also promote you to the rank of apprentice and grant you the robe of the apprentice. Take a moment and try it on. Then we shall speak of what comes next for you.
Officially in the Mages Guild. This is like a kind of a milestone in the game for me. Like, yeah, I made it in, finally. Go ahead and try on these robes. What, they're worth nothing? Literally worth nothing? Alright. There we go. That's very magey looking, I guess.
So I've heard. Safe travels. You too.
Fortify willpower 4 points, and that's it. No armor whatsoever.
We come to the real work at last. You have, no doubt, seen some of the worst the guild has to offer. As much as we try to hold mages to a higher standard, they are only human. What I hope you will now see is that while the guild can be disjointed and misused, it can also achieve some wonderful things. Now you have an opportunity to engage in more meaningful tasks and continue with your advancement through the guild. Before you can begin work for the guild, you'll need to do something for yourself. Every mage carries a staff. It is crafted and enchanted by the guild and is a symbol of status. You need such a staff. The wood used for staves comes from a grove to the northeast of the Imperial City, near Wellspring Cave. Several mages tend to the grove and should be able to assist you. Speak with either Zarasha or Ilette when you arrive, and choose wisely. Wellspring Cave lies to the northeast of the Imperial City. The mages there can assist you. You shall have a true mage's staff, sir.
Yeah, we'll see. If Fort Blue Blood was any sign of things to come, yeah, it's going to be an ordeal.
Hello there. Yes, I'm sure you've got something exceedingly important to say. But the apprentices do not teach themselves, now do they? Good day.
All the mages here are so busy. And here's the university. Oh, this is cool. All right, now it's alchemy time here. I'm going to collect some stuff. They have one of just about everything here. Anything you could possibly want. And I plan on actually go ahead and training in that. I've used up a bunch of alchemy points already, and it dropped nothing into intelligence, so I'll be damned if I'm not going to get something out of it. So I'll probably go endurance, intelligence, and something. Speed, maybe? I wouldn't mind a little bit of speed.
Oh, Magister.
It won't matter so much later. It's never been a big thing with me. Having some mobility though, especially clunking around in heavy armor with a big two-handed weapon, might come in handy. So what I can probably do is go down and go box with some mud crabs, take some damage to heavy armor, you know, repair my stuff, get my armor up, may even go train in armor actually. Go talk to what's her name, Rosan, back there in the market district. Go do that. Like I say, endurance comes first. That's as long as that goes up by 5. Honestly, you know, the rest of it, it's all kind of secondary. Obviously, strength is a thing too, but I don't think strength is compounded by levels. In other words, like whether you raise your strength earlier or later, your end game damage is going to be well the same. You know, as long as you max it out at some point, it'll be what it is. Whereas endurance, if you raise it later, you're going to have a much shallower health pool than you would dropping points in early. Anyway, at least that's the way I understand it, so I'm going to roll with that. So I'm thinking we'll look around in some of the buildings here. There's a place that, it kind of, I guess you could say it sort of specializes in potions and stuff. Probably more an opportunity just to grab some alchemy gear to go sell somewhere, honestly. And then you have the place to make your spells. We'll go check that out. I don't think I make a lot right now. Probably not anything I can cast that's maybe really any better than what I've got here. If I want a basic conjuration spell, I have to find something I can conjure. I may go looking around all the mages guilds to find something. I'm thinking just a simple skeleton. Preferably probably a zombie or a scamp. I already have the spell for a scamp, I just can't cast it. I need my conjuration at 25, and I think it's like at 20 right now, or 21, something. So I'm right there. I could go train in it, I guess, but that seems like kind of a waste, when it would probably just be a matter of casting a few simple spells. So, it'd probably be cheaper to go buy a spell that I can actually cast, and then just cast that until I get it up to 25, and then I can start summoning something I want to summon. So, anyway, that's what I was thinking.
Greetings.
And then I was thinking, after all that, once I'm going to experiment a little bit with a weapon, just a little heads up. The weapon we make right here, I want to try something. I don't have the ability to cast weakness to magic, and that's always kind of been a key to a drain health enchantment on a weapon, is you make the enemy completely susceptible to that. So you do full damage. If they're 100% weak to magic, and whatever spell you cast, they're going to take all that damage. Well, you put 100 points of drain health. It's not the same as damage health. In other words, drain health for 1 second means they're missing that amount of health for 1 second. Once that 1 second ticks off, maybe another second, and they get all that health back. The effect is canceled. But if you can outright kill them, or take all their health away while that effect is in effect, then of course they'll die. So that's kind of the thing. So you give them weakness to magic with a two-handed weapon. I'm thinking like a 3-second weakness to magic, so it carries over. Each time you hit them, it kind of resets itself, that timer.
Magister, I just remembered.
And then
there's something I'd like to
drain
discuss.
health for maybe 2 seconds or something.
Master Spellmaker Gaspar Stegin at your service. New spells, old spells, good spells, bad spells. They're all fun for me.
What can I interest you in?
Oh, summon the good stuff, huh?
Be seeing you.
Gaspar's Stegin.
Orician, Master Spellmaker for the Mages Guild. Guildsmen only, of course. What can I interest you in?
Zivilahi. I don't know how you'd say that. That's one of the Daedric creatures. We'll be seeing plenty of them later, right?
Hi.
Okay, don't know what I can make, but we'll play around in here. Just take a look. These are the spells that I have to start working with. So let's say, okay, I wanted to shoot a fireball. Difference between touch and target, right? And a simple 5 points of damage with an AoE. Maybe a little fireball explosion. It does 5 points of damage for 2 seconds. Seems pretty simple, right? Let's go up to 10 here. So that would cost 62 mana to cast. Bottom left, that's what it looks like. And it actually costs money to make it. I think that's really cool too. And yeah, it looks like 30 mana per second of duration. Okay, so see, it requires a destruction skill of 50. So that's a slight upgrade to the fireball I have. Very slight upgrade, really. And I couldn't make it. But you could obviously name it whatever. Don't remember exactly how many letters it gives you, but then that actually shows up in your spell list just like that. Of course, I can't do it. So not even having the skill, I just can't make it in the first place. So even if I wanted it for later, once my skill gets up there, I got to come back to make that.
Absolutely not.
Have you ever had a...
They kind of don't hold your hand here, but they allow you to custom craft your stuff to fine-tune the way you want to play and stuff. And notice there's a balance in the game. You know, you can't run out with 100 skill level stuff at the very beginning of the game to one-shot things. You know, you can maximize your spells based on what you have to work with to do the best for you, but still, it's game balance, and I thought they did a really good job with that. Practice rooms. I think in the practice rooms they have, I think it's dummies that you can actually shoot spells at, and it counts. I think. Training, essentially. Which is legit, sure. That's some stuff I can steal, actually.
Greetings,
Might take that.
apprentice. What can I help you with? You aren't the first person to go looking for those. Quite a remarkable story, really. I know a bit about it. Certainly. Garradin was a knight who lorded over a small village of peaceful farmers. One harvest summer, there was a horrible drought. The farmers appealed to Garradin to discover a solution. He spent a week consulting with sages until one of them mentioned a possibility. The sage told him of an artifact called the Everflow Ewer. The vessel, which looked like a silver pitcher, was said to supply endless water. Yes, indeed. Legend has it that Garradin found the ewer, and that it was guarded by a fearsome creature. It is also said that the creature froze him. When Garradin realized his quest was a failure, and he wouldn't be able to return and save the farmers, he began to shed some tears. As the ice enveloped him, some of his tears were frozen as well. Some even say that the divine, Mara, took pity on the poor knight. To commemorate his kind heart, she imbued the tears with some sort of magical power. That's only rumor, though. You know, if you're really interested in more, There's a book I read once called Nightfall. It may have more about Garridan. I think I saw a copy last time I was at the first edition bookshop in the Market District. Please visit me again anytime. I'm glad to help. Give Sadrasa my regards.
Okay, I believe there's like a dozen skill books here between all the different buildings and university. I don't really want them right now. Don't remember what all of them are for, but later on when I actually need to raise some skills, may come back here and sift through all of them, but right now I think I'm set on what I want to do. Now it's weapon time. So I'm going to experiment a little bit here. This could be a costly experience. This could be a costly mistake, actually, but just have a thought. I want to see if the drain health... I don't know what kind of hit point pool your average enemy is. I don't know. I'm not sure what we're dealing with.
Welcome to the Chironasium. Can I help you? If you're looking to create your own enchantments, you've come to the right place. You too.
Okay, like for example, a drain health. Say drain health of 100 points. 100 points of damage is quite a bit, even though it's kind of temporary. That's normally enough to outright kill most enemies up until a certain point. Problem is, I don't remember if it stacks or not. Like, you know, I don't know if you hit with drain health a second time, does it make it 200 points? I'm thinking no. I believe damage health is the only one that does that. But I'm just going to experiment here, and then we're going to go to one of my favorite ruins, actually. The one that's directly across from the sewer exit. We left the game. It's the first thing you see, basically. When you step out, you see the crystal clear water and the blue skies, and it's like, man, this world's open in front of you. You can either go to speak to Joffrey, or you can just do what you want. And they just straight up tell you that. The world is at your disposal. And so, of course, looking across the water at this ruin, I'm like, what's that? It's essentially a beginner dungeon, kind of. I say beginner, but now, I don't know. Anyway, so I just try something basic here. Don't know how effective this will be. Thinking not so much. But only one way to find out, right? So now that with weakness to magic pretty much guarantees that someone's going to take 100 points of damage initially. That 100 points is going to be static. But if an enemy has a 500 health pool, first of all, if it stacks, still got to hit them like 5 times there before the first duration wears off, or you're essentially just, it's a battle of attrition. You know, you hit them for 100, hit them for another 100, the first 100 wears off, and then you're just replacing that second or maybe even third 100. And the time, you know, that whole time, of course, that enemy's just beating on you. I'm thinking it's maybe not so much. We'll see. And you can also do this. This is guaranteed basic damage. I'd probably be best off just going with one solid attack, like, say, probably my best bet for a weapon right now. And we may come make another one like that. I'll be getting rid of the steel battle axe as soon as I find something to replace it. Maybe something silver, or who knows. I think the next thing after steel is glass, maybe? I'm thinking glass. Maybe not. Mithril? Maybe it's mithril. I'm not sure what order they go. I think it's mithril first and then glass. Although I don't think there's mithril weapons. I think that's just light armor. It's kind of like a stronger light armor. Step above leather, basically. Type of thing. Anyway, whatever. It's been a long time. But probably my best bet would be to put a frost enchantment over time. Instead of like a flat 20 points of damage, do 10 points of damage over 2 seconds. Because you're going to swing a little slower. Two-handed axe. And only downside to that is if you're doing 20 points over 2 seconds, you're doing 10 points a second. And if you restart that timer after 1 second, then it's just going to essentially be doing 10 points at a time. You know, but points on strike, it's just something to experiment with. Once again, it's something else to play with in the game and find what works. But do a frost over time. 20 points is cheaper over 2 seconds. 10 points per second rather than 20 points all at once. it costs less charge, which means that you can swing your weapon more. You don't have to recharge it as often. And then put a weakness to Frost, which is a really, really cheap spell. Kind of wasting these Grand Soul Gems too, but whatever. Alright, so you can absorb health from range. That can be kind of useful. You can even do that with an AoE effect. An area effect on it. So you can absorb health from like multiple enemies and damage them all at the same time. Because what you take from them, they lose. So anyway, this I'm thinking that this axe, the way I've set it up, it's essentially, now if an enemy's not susceptible to magic anyway, or they got high magic defense, then they could possibly resist that. But probably early on, not so many enemies are going to be 100% immune to magic or something. So I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue. But we'll see what kind of health pool we're dealing with. Like I say, this is just kind of putting out my feelers. The downside of this is I'm using up a lot of soul gems, which are given to you early in the game if you know where to look, so that you can get a start, make something worth having. Anyway, we'll probably run with this, and then, like I say, go find a weapon worth having. Something better than the steel battle axe. Maybe a claymore. I'm really considering a claymore and switching to blade instead of blunt. I'm going to raise them both anyway, because they're both strength skills, and I got to get my strength up. So this early in the game, it doesn't really matter either way. I'm thinking the sword might look cooler, though. So we'll put this on the bow. What's the duration? Boy, that's not very many shots out of that. And soul trap. Even from range, you can soul trap. That's cool. You can do that in Skyrim too. Sometimes it's kind of fun to name weapons with these ridiculous names that they give weapons in the Oblivion gates. When we get there, you'll see like putrefying obliteration of gluttonous abomination or some really stupid stuff. It's really funny. I mean, these awesome wannabe evil names that they give their weapons and stuff. And it'll usually be really weak. Like, you go up against some Daedric Lord or something, and he's got this big great sword that looks all badass, and it's got this horrible name on it. It's like, it does 2 points of damage with a 5-point fire enchantment on it or something. It's almost useless. But, maybe a weakness to Frost. And this is probably what I should go. This is what I was talking about on my axe. I should probably just run with something simple like this. And so the weakness is really, really cheap. Notice it costs almost nothing. 100 magnitude means they're 100% weak to that. So unless they're immune to magic. Now, if they're completely immune to magic, weakness to magic won't work because that's magic. So, but how many enemies are 100% immune to magic? I don't know of many, if any, so we'll see. If that becomes an issue later, well, then that's going to be something to deal with. There you go. Drain 100 points for 2 seconds. This is just going to give us a feel. And frost damage 5 points. Weakness to frost. Okay, that's fine. So that's going to do damage itself. But we're going to go see what kind of health pools we're dealing with. I've got, like I say, I've got that ruin across from the sewers as a perfect place to go experiment a little bit. Like I say, maybe a waste of Grand Soul Gems. It's going to be a while before I can get my hands on any more of those. It really just determines how many charges you have in your weapon, for the most part. Alright, well there you go. We finally made it to Arcane University. Now we can go dungeon diving a little bit. Let's go explore an Ayleid ruin. Sounds like fun. So that's what we're going to do on the next one. If you want to subscribe, click that button up top. That'd be cool. And if you want to catch the rest of this playthrough, you can click the image in the middle. It should send you straight to the playlist. Y'all take care. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.